I'm Rob DiNicola, Divisional Sales Manager here at Medicomp. In today's new hire training video, we're going to go over standards of professional behavior. Now, while at Medicomp, we do serious work, but we never take ourselves too seriously. Our outside sales force are the face of the organization. You represent Medicomp to both our prospects, our customers, and our patients. So it's always important to be held to a very high standard of professional behaviors. What I want to go over in this presentation are a couple of the key ones and why they're so important to us. The first one is integrity. Having integrity means that you're morally sound, that you can be trusted or in our sound character. We all know that. But why is that important to us? Well, our customers need to trust us because they give us confidential information about their practices and their patients. If they can't trust us, they won't want to do this. And it's very important to always treat all of our customers, our prospects, our patients with integrity. Again, without trust, what we do day in, day out, offering patient monitoring, actually having patients' lives in our hands, breaks down. So if they can't trust us, they're not going to do business with us. And we will get lots of confidential information, and this is a very important part of what we do and why integrity is so important. Second key behavior is empathy, the ability to really have compassion for our patients and the patients' families. Understand that the healthcare provider is providing and caring for patients and their families. We need to be empathetic to both the patient and the healthcare professional. By having empathy, being able to relate to them, we can better position ourselves, what we do. Basically let them know that we understand what they're going through. So being empathetic, being able to connect on that level will go a long way to helping you build those strong connections you need to have to actually close business with new prospects and retain business and strong relationships with our customers. Another character that's important, and don't get this confused with cockiness, is self-confidence. You know, it's critical you convey a strong degree of self-confidence. The reason being, we're talking about a very technical things here. Our services, our devices, the arrhythmias. There's a lot of information there, and kind of going through it and not really believing or knowing what you're saying will show to a healthcare provider, office manager, purchasing department. So it's very, very important to display confidence in what you say and how you say it. I'm not saying being cocky. We don't want cockiness. We want self-confidence. And the reason why this is important, again, HCPs, healthcare professionals, hospitals, are making decisions that directly affect patients. So it's critically important they believe what you're saying and that you exude confidence that you know what you're saying, that you know what they're facing. You know, our customers put their patients' lives in our hands. They need to trust us. Another behavior, communications. Now, besides being able to speak right, clearly, and effectively communicate, that's good. There'll be a lot of presentations you're going to be giving. You'll be talking to lots of people out in the field. You may be talking to patients. If you're a CDS, you'll be communicating back to the home office, to your DSM, to our CMC, to our customer care. So being able to really effectively communicate and get your point across, whether via a phone call or an email, will be vitally important. But as a salesperson, when I talk about communication, I talk about not so much about being able to present ideas orally or by word, by writing. Communication has a lot to do with listening, and you have to be an active listener when you're out in the field. Whether you're talking to a prospect or a customer, if you listen to what they say when you ask a question, they'll often give you information that will allow you to help them treat their patients with Medicomp products and services. So you should do a lot more listening than you do talking. I know a lot of times as a sales professional you want to get to an account and just show them how much you know and how great our products are. But by actively listening, you'll be able to position our products in a way that's meaningful and beneficial to our customers, clients, and prospects. And one other thing when it comes to communication, always clarify, never assume. And that's good in life in general. Just because you think you know what someone's trying to get to or the point they're trying to get at, it doesn't take more than a minute or two to kind of reconfirm and clarify. That way you again can present what is needed or beneficial to that person. Now, time management will be very important for all of us out in the field. There's a lot of things that are thrown our way, both internally and externally. Whether you're a CDS or an RSM, you have a pretty large geography. CDSs have lots of customers. RSMs have lots of land and basically limitless places to go actually sell our services to. I know it's cliche, but you are actually running a small business. You need to be in charge of budgets. You need to be in charge of goals. It really is a hands-on ownership approach works best here. So, in large part, your success and your sanity will be determined how effectively and efficiently you manage your time. You know, again, large territories, we have demanding schedules, both internal and externally. Whether I'm asking for something from you, the CEO is asking for something for you, your customers are asking something from you, someone's always going to be demanding your time. You know, there's a lot to balance here. So by effectively managing your time, keeping tight schedules, you know, committing to things that make sense, actively routing yourself and not getting pulled in the main directions at once will make your life a lot easier when you try to either get more business, close sales, or again, just keep your hair from falling out. Diplomacy. Well, you know, that's kind of a word thing out there, a behavior. But I think given the kind of field that we're in, and you're going to find out more as you actually get out in the field and realize that it's very competitive. And sometimes customers and our competition can say some pretty nasty things, and we can get pretty heated with things. So, you know, I think a professional, a sales professional especially, knows how to employ tact to gain an advantage. The ability to think before you speak and know how to say something that will not offend or conflict with the customer or prospective sensibilities. You know, you can't go in there and call the customer's baby ugly and expect to get business. You know, you'll often find that our prospects and some of our customers will use subpar technology, but it's all they know. They like it. By going in there and bashing it, you know, that may not be the best way to gain new business or gain any friends. So always kind of use diplomacy when you're talking. I know sometimes it's easy to kind of get passionate about what we do day in and day out, but you know, thinking before you're speaking, regardless whether it's in business or in your personal life, always a good idea. Team player. Again, what we do, it's very complicated. Monitoring a patient isn't very complicated, but all the moving parts that go into it, all the departments that are involved, from the office, the doctor's office, to our wireless providers, to our home office and CMC, to FedEx. There's a lot of things moving on, so being a team player is very important. We really can't have any lone wolves out there. I know a lot of sales professionals just think that, I'm a hunter, I'm going to go out there and just do my own thing and just take down everything. We need to perform as a team to effectively win new customers and service existing customers. So many moving parts out there. So many departments are critical to both the service and what we provide to our offices. There'll be times you will need to depend on other peeps. Peeps is what we call people in the organization to accomplish a goal. Whether it's Barb Lord being able to help you with a device issue, Scott Fletcher being able to send you some new monitors to a site on a timely fashion. Everyone that works in this organization may be very, you may need at some point in time to help you accomplish your goals. So being a team player is very, very important here. Respect. Now this goes without saying. We always want to be respectful. Always be polite to others, including the competitors and difficult customers. We never know what may be going on. At Medicomp, we earn business the right way. We never want to go in and badmouth anybody. We can point out the deficiencies in products. We can go out and maybe say how our service is better, but you don't want to go in there and start calling everything garbage and just being kind of disrespectful to customers or to our competitors. Again, people do things for a reason. Let's give them a good reason to come to us and not give them a reason not to come to us by being disrespectful and just bad-mouthing whatever, to get our goals across. Now, being a patient advocate, this is a really big behavior that we live here. Our CEO is a doctor, and of course, do no harm, patients first kind of motto that we do have here, and it really is. We are run by a doctor. We put the needs of the patient above all else, above the provider, above us. Patients are the most important thing we do. We monitor them. We are protecting their lives in many ways. We're helping them get the treatment. So the patient is always the most important thing. This can be painful at times. Trust me, doing the right thing for a patient may result in us getting some business. It may result on you getting some commission. It may result in the company making some money, but the patient is always first here, no matter what. Remember that, and you'll be fine. Be a physician and an HCP advocate, healthcare professional advocate. We should always act in a manner that demonstrates that we have an understanding and support the needs and goals of the HCPs, healthcare providers. It's a difficult environment out there right now with the Affordable Health Care Act and the way medicine is being practiced nowadays and how reimbursement is. We have to really have an understanding and know the kind of pain and problems they face. And this kind of goes back to being empathetic, having empathy for people and for our customers. We want to be a partner with our offices, with our hospitals, with the people who use our services. So being an advocate of them and doing right by them is always something we should do. We shouldn't place the customer's needs ahead of we should always place the customer's needs ahead of our own. But remember, never the patient's. So it's always patient first, provider second, then us. If we do that, we follow that model, we'll almost never fail as a company. We may not always get the business, but we'll get the right kind of business, and we'll get the reputation that we want and deserve by doing that first and foremost. Now, this is a behavior that really is important to us because of, we deliver a service. We're a diagnostic company in lots of ways. So careful delivery of service. We must always be a master of our craft. Whether you're an RSM or a CDS, there's a lot of information to know. So whether you're selling our services new, introducing new customers to our products and services, or if you're a CDS and troubleshooting, solving problems, adding service lines, you need to know what you're talking about, and there's a lot to know. We need to master and maintain all the skills necessary to perform our jobs at the highest level possible. We want to deliver the highest level of service that we can. We want to be irreproachable when it comes to being able to deliver service. We may not always get it right, but we will always try our hardest to make sure it's done correctly. Patients' lives are in our hands. We must always strive to deliver an optimal outcome. Everyone makes mistakes. It's our humility to admit our mistakes, learn from them, and move forward that will make us a better company and make you a better salesperson out in the field. Honor the brand name. We are Medicomp. Always act and behave in a fashion that brings credit to you and to Medicomp. Never damage your brand. The one thing that you control in this life is how people perceive you, what your brand is like. So never act in a way where you can damage your brand. It takes a lifetime to earn a reputation. It takes only a minute to destroy it. So never act in a manner that would cause a customer to distrust you at Medicomp. It goes back to the fact that we have patients' lives in our hands. We have information that's pretty sensitive. If they can't trust us, they're not going to do business with us, or at least not for very long. Always be realistic in our capabilities and limitations. We might not be able to offer something that a patient or a customer wants. We might have some issues that break down. Always own that. We can't be everything to everybody. We can be a lot of things to a lot of people, but not everything. We're not infallible. You're not going to be infallible. When you make a mistake, own up to it. A customer, a client, a person's a lot more likely to forgive if you admit to your mistakes, or if you ask for help, than trying to go in there and just say yes, 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 or we can do that, or come off too cocky or too infallible. It's just a bad trait to have for a salesperson or anybody in general. And that's basically it. There's a lot of standards, we have very high standards that we hold ourselves to. And if we can basically stick to those 12 or 13, we'll be in really good shape. So that wraps up standards of professional behavior.